Pakistan says India was directly involved in the Lahore blast on the 23rd of June that left 3 people dead and 24 wounded. National Security Advisor Dr. Moeed Yusuf was addressing a press conference alongside the Punjab Police Chief and Information Minister Fawad Chaudhry. Yusuf said Pakistan security agencies have concrete evidence and intelligence that points direct Indian sponsorship of terrorism. He said forensic analysis suggests the involvement of Indian intelligence agency RAW in the terror attack. Yusuf added that the main mastermind of the incident is an Indian citizen associated with RAW. He said India's use of territory and people of third countries is not new, adding that Pakistan has been consistently reminding the world of Indian actions. For more on this, we are joined by Ali Sarwar Naqvi, former ambassador and analyst from Islamabad. Thank you so much for speaking to Indus News. Now, Pakistan says India was directly behind the terror attack in Lahore last month. What steps should Pakistan take to counter India's nefarious designs?
Yes, thank you. You see, the Indian involvement in terrorism is not new. It has been going on for many years, I think. In fact, I read an article that the 2001 attack on the Indian Parliament was also engineered by Indian RAW, and the blame was put on Pakistan. So it goes back many years. However, now it has become quite a big concerted program of sponsoring terrorism in Pakistan, and the latest evidence is that of the Lahore bomb blast, where on 23rd of June, where a vehicle carrying very heavy load of gun powder and ammunition was blown up near the house of a targeted political person. So the Indian involvement needs to be exposed, and I think Dr. Moeed Yusuf's press conference, along with the presence of the Information Minister, Mr. Fawad Chaudhry, has done that. They have exposed the entire incident and all the details that have been unearthed by our agencies and our law enforcement officials in linking them, the mastermind, and in exposing the mastermind and showing his links with Indian RAW, the Indian spy agency. So there is incontrovertible evidence of Indian involvement in this entire incident. And then India was exposed recently by the EU Disinfo Lab, which is a neutral body and has nothing to do with this region, but they have exposed fake Indian NGOs, Indian wire services, and Indian fake organizations, which have all been carrying out all kinds of fifth-generation warfare, of disinformation, and of promoting nefarious activities in Pakistan. So India is acting highly irresponsibly, and it needs to be exposed. And then the international community should be, one should demand of the international community that it should immediately take this matter up with the Indians. We should not do it through the Security Council, which is highly politicized, but we should take up with individual countries the very fair request of their intervention in the matter to prevent the destabilization of this region.
All right, Mr. Naqvi, now the most familiar and undeniable face of India's state sponsorship of terrorism against Pakistan is Kulbhushan Jadhav. What role can the international community play to stop India from sponsoring and financing terrorist activities in Pakistan?
Yeah. Well, I think the international community has to impress upon India that it must act responsibly as a member state of the United Nations and as a member of the international community, and it should not do things which would be destabilizing for our region, because in this atmosphere of all kinds of unstable factors that are at play, particularly due to the American withdrawal from Afghanistan, the Indian actions of this kind have further aggravated the situation. And then Dr. Moeed Yusuf also spoke about these reports of drone flights in Kashmir and also one here in Islamabad, and said that this is all fake. There are no such drone flights or drones moving about in these areas, and India is trying to divert attention by creating these reports which are totally baseless and false.
All right, Mr. Naqvi, don't you think that India's state sponsorship of terrorism in Pakistan will negatively affect the Afghan peace process?
Yes, I think so. I think it would negatively affect the Afghan peace process and the efforts to restore peace and stability in Afghanistan. It would also affect the bilateral relations between India and Pakistan. It would create more tension. And I think India should be mindful of the fact that China is also interested in the peace and stability of the region and would look at this most unfavorably. I think, in fact, one of the things that we should do, that's my own suggestion, is that we should take it up with the Chinese government and point out to them and share with them our findings and point out to them what India has been doing and what it did on June 23rd.
All right. Former Ambassador Ali Sarwar Naqvi, thank you so much for speaking to Indus News.